Welcome back to Automatic Mouth. What's today's episode about? Comparison, the comparison trap when we're competing with the wrong person. So, do you ever ask yourself, am I doing enough? You scroll through social media and suddenly you feel like you're just failing at life. You suck at humaning. You look at the posts and it looks like everyone else is thriving. They're getting promotions, they're running marathons, they're exercising, they're falling in love, and the people they fall in love with are brilliant cooks, and just everything seems to be coming up roses. And meanwhile, you're there on the couch, just proud that you remembered to drink water today. If you've ever felt like that, that's comparisonitis. That's a thing. It's, I guess, it's like a mental cold now, and it spreads so quickly, faster than any kind of gossip in your group chat. It's wildfire stuff. So today I wanted to really zoom in on that, comparing versus competing, how to know the difference, why your brain does it in the first place, and what to do when imposter syndrome starts kind of in your ear and telling you that you don't belong there, because you absolutely do. So let's get into it. Bit of science behind it. We humans are wired to compare. And this science of comparison has been around for ages. There was a psychologist, Leon Festinger, depending how you want to say it. He called it social comparison theory. As I said, not a new concept, yet we still seem to wallow in it, don't we? Basically, it's about our brain looking around for reference points. It's so that we can figure out, am I doing okay? Am I doing this human thing correctly? And we use other people to figure that out. The problem is that we compare our behind the scenes footage, the real grunt work of building something great from the ground up. We compare that to everyone else's highlight reel, the finished product, the display home. And it's just an unfair comparison. You might look at holiday pics online from friends and you think, oh shit, they must have it all together. That they're making enough money and are paying all their bills that they can go on a holiday. Wow, they've got their shit together. What you don't see from that photo, though, is the tears, the fights, the arguments, the exhaustion, the eating instant noodles for dinner. You don't see any of that stuff. You don't see the struggle. You just see the end result. Here's an example for you, and you can give it a go yourself. Have you ever run into like an old classmate or someone you used to work with quite a while ago, and you start doing the mental math? How much money do they make now? Do they look happier now or sadder now? Am I winning at adulthood, or are they beating me? We've all done it. It's your brain's ancient kind of survival mechanism, I guess, kicking in, trying to measure safety through status. So, that was good once upon a time. It's a bit of a problem now because it's outdated. It doesn't work anymore. All right? Because that's when imposter syndrome comes in. Feeling like a fraud. Let's break that down. Imposter syndrome is that nagging, and it's a belief as well, not just a thought, it's a belief that your success is just luck. When if you nail an assignment, been there, done that, yet you think to yourself, oh, I just got away with that. They probably marked it wrong. I better not say anything. You immediately assume that they did it wrong and you couldn't have got that good a mark. Or you get a promotion and you straight away start thinking, oh God, I hope they never find out that I have no idea what I'm doing. So you straight away build yourself so low, From a psychology perspective, imposter syndrome thrives in high achievers, perfectionists, people with those sorts of character traits. In NLP, if you're an NLP junkie, it's called an identity level misalignment. So it's still about identity. It's where you're still running an old belief, like I'm not smart enough. And your external reality keeps proving otherwise, but your brain rejects the evidence. It's like, yeah, I did okay, but most of it was luck. That's not humility. That's self-sabotage, dressed up as modesty. It's self-sabotage. Let's not get it twisted. Okay? Now, don't get me wrong. Competition itself is not a bad thing. It's all about who you're competing with. So a healthy competition says, I'm going to use this as fuel. Whatever the outcome, I'm going to use it as fuel. Toxic competition says, if they win, that means I'm a loser. So it becomes identity. Do you see that? Think about if you start going to the gym with a friend. You both just get in there and you start working out. And at first, you kind of cheer each other on and, helping each other keep going. And then suddenly you start side-eyeing their process, their progress. It shifts because it's no longer about feeling strong within yourself. It's about not being last to your friend. So that's when comparison flips into competition, and then competition turns into self-judgment. When we really look at it from a very black and white perspective, though, you don't get faster by tripping the person in the race next to you. You get faster by timing your own laps and comparing yourself to your last lap. If you trip the person in the race next to you, it's not going to make you go quicker. It just makes them slower. So that's not self-improvement. It's sabotage, isn't it? So let's look at the reason that we compare, this neuro loop that we end up in. Basically, our brains love ranking. And like even the idea of being on some sort of ranking, I think gets most people into a bit of excitement if they're up the top and then a bit of dread in case they're down the bottom. Yet we still want to see where we rank against other people. It's a dopamine game. That's what it's all about. Back in the caveman days, knowing your place in a tribe, that was about survival. So ranking mattered. Comparing mattered. Today, though, it's just scrolling through other people's, again, their highlight reels. I got the dream job post, and that makes you question your own life choices. Or watching, fitness reel and someone doing lots of lifting and getting heavier and heavier weights or fitter and fitter. And all it does is make you think, oh shit, I need to get my life together. Crikey. Or you see, one of your friends post a family pic and it looks all wholesome and they're having a picnic and doing all these wonderful things together as a family. And you instantly feel guilty because your family dinner last night was nuggets and tomato sauce and very little eye contact, Every time you compare, your brain releases a tiny dopamine burst and it feels like you're in control, that you know the narrative, and that's why it's addictive. The cost of it, though, is massive. The self-worth, followed by those emotional hangovers, it's not fun. It's not good. And I think most of you listening to this would have been there and know what it feels like. So here's a little twist for you to give it a go. You've got nothing to lose, so much to gain. See how it goes for you. It's an NLP kind of twist. It's about submodalities. It goes like this, right? When you think of someone else's success, picture that in your mind now and notice how your brain shows it to you. It'll be bright, colorful, close up. It's all like razzle dazzle. Woo, 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 winning, right? Now think of your own achievements. think of your own success. What you'll find is that picture that the brain shows you is usually smaller, it's more dull, it might be further away in your mind. What I want you to do with that picture is bring yours, your success picture, bring yours into full color. Make it really vibrant. Make it bigger. Make it louder. Make yours razzle dazzle. Okay? Have you done it? Did you feel a shift? When the shift happens, that's literally you rewiring the neural filters that determine what your mind prioritizes as important. So can you see the difference that when you made it razzle dazzle for your friend's success, you're telling your mind that that's what matters. Shift it. You have control of that. Make your successes razzle dazzle and feel the shift as your mind learns. Then that's what's important. Okay, I'm going to focus on that. It feels good. It feels powerful. And it's something that you can do anytime for yourself. So let me just go over 4 practical tools that can help reframe this feeling of comparisonitis. Okay. Tool 1, it's about competing with your past self. That's the tool. Rather than saying, am I better than them? Am I doing better than them? Just do a little language shift. Am I better than before? Am I doing better than before? So instead of, if you're in your own business or whatever your job is, instead of comparing it to someone else doing the job, compare it to last year's version of you doing the job. The one who didn't even, know left from right, really, when it came to the job. Look how far you've come. That's who you compare against. Okay. Number 2 is an evidence board. Start keeping proof of your wins, feedback, messages, screenshots, whatever works for you. It's your anti-imposter kit. I used to call it a fig jam journal. For those who don't know what fig jam stands for, it's fuck, I'm good, just ask me. And it becomes something that allows you to go back to when that imposter syndrome kind of hits and you're feeling a little low. When doubt hits, you've got the receipts, baby. So go to the fig jam journal, go to your anti-imposter kit and look through some of the pictures of the messages and the feedback that you've received, your wins, and build it back up again. And remember to use the submodalities to make the pictures of them that you're looking at razzle dazzle, really big. Okay? Number 3 is calibrating the gratitude in your life. Gratitude is not about pretending that everything's fine. That's toxic positivity. Everything's not fine. Shit can get hard. What gratitude calibration is about, it's saying, I'm proud of how far I've come and I'm still hungry for more. It's acknowledging your struggle. It's acknowledging your journey so far and that you're acknowledging you want more. So it keeps it more seamless. It resets your nervous system. Instead of that scarcity thinking, it shifts you into an abundance type of mindset. Because you're hungry for more, you're focused on more, and you know how far you've come, so you know you can do it. That kind of language resets your brain. And the last tool is a social media detox, okay? I'm not going to ask you to put down, your phone for a week or whatever. The truth is we've all become very reliant on our phones and social media to run businesses and stay connected, all those sorts of things. It's not about good versus bad. What I'm suggesting is that you unfollow or mute anyone who triggers comparison more than inspiration. You don't need that in your life. You don't have time for it. You got shit to do. If you wouldn't take advice from that person, then stop letting their life dictate your mood. They haven't earned that right. So gone. and focus back on you. Yeah. Because it shows up everywhere. Like every day, it can show up. Your friend buys a new house. Suddenly you hate your house. Your coworker gets, some good feedback for a job they did. You start to think, oh, God, yeah, I couldn't have done that. Someone posts the perfect family photo. All you do is zoom in on the chaos that is your family. You see a stranger or a friend, it doesn't matter, their body transformation or their fitness, journey. And you start to skip a meal, not out of wanting to look after yourself, out of guilt and feeling like crap. They're there every day, everywhere you look. And I want to stress that these moments that you have these thoughts, they're not failures. You're not doing anything wrong. It's feedback though. What these thoughts, these triggers, what they're showing you is where you've attached your self-worth to someone else's scoreboard. And that is an impossible thing to win because you're living different lives. You have different lives. So the only true comparison you can make is against former versions of yourself. That's the only true comparison. As I said, comparison, it's not evil. It's information. It's data. That's it. It tells you what you value, what you desire, and what you believe that you lack. So the trick is to use it consciously. Be in control of it. When comparison makes you feel less than, then it's measuring worth. If comparison inspires you to grow, then it's measuring your potential. So stop playing other people's games. You're not behind. You're on your own timeline. And you are doing far better than your imposter would have you believe. So this is your cue to take control of the thoughts that you are having when you compare yourself and your life externally to other people and other things. You deserve so much more. I hope you've enjoyed this. This has been Automatic Mouth. I'd like to think that it's real talk for people like myself who never stopped thinking about everything. So I hope you can join me again. Next episode, I'm going to dig even deeper into how to rewire the identity beliefs that you might have so that your self-worth isn't outsourced to other people's opinions. I hope you can join me. I look forward to talking to you again. Bye for now.